Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Yeah, fucking run to the mountains. Okay.
All right.
Run to the hills.
That's how we're coming in.
No, don't include that. That's a horrible.
Journeymen.
Please do not include that.
We are for sure.
Let's
Soundbite.
Let's take another cut. No,
Let's keep it in.
no.
All right.
I've said a lot of dumb shit over the years. We could keep this in.
I think it's funny.
I can't get to that high pitched level like I used to.
It's all right.
Didn't happen.
No, we're starting like this. This is some
Journeymen Lounge podcast
Starting
listeners.
now.
We're at 95. I think we're getting some extra attention. We appreciate it. I hope you guys like, subscribe, throw some comments, give us some ideas. And, if you agree with me and you want to support, my ideas and my narrative, let me know about it.
If you want to tell me he's a dumbass, also, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's Bobby over there.
Skip Bayless to our right. I mean, Bobby to our right.
Yeah. Low SAT scores to my left.
That's Ryan. I am Woj. If you know. The Journeymen Lounge podcast has been out for 64 episodes, so
We're over a year now. I love it, guys.
Pretty dope. Let's just get into it because I am wired. Like, I'm at the brim right now. Okay, so check it out. Fantasy. I'm in the playoffs in all 4 leagues. I have a bye in 1 league, and Ryan has also agreed that my team in the League of Assholes is pretty solid, stout team. So I'm fucking on cloud 9 right now, but it could easily my emotions, I would just say, are on pins and needles right now.
So this game has some implications. We got San Fran hosting LA Rams, right?
Right. The only thing I have is Juwan Jennings. I'm playing him, going against him, and I have George Kittle.
I'm curious at who
I
started.
thought George
Juwan
Kittle wasn't
Jennings.
playing.
What are you talking about?
I thought he wasn't going to play.
No, I think he's healthy, live. No.
I don't know. 2 days ago, they said he wasn't going to play. I'm just saying, I don't know if you checked that. Is he playing?
Woj will check that out.
Dude,
but
thanks for giving me a heart attack, bro.
I don't know. They said 2 days ago he was like doubtful to play or something. I heard.
George Kittle, a no-brainer start in Week 15.
way to get him nervous. Way to get him
Dude,
scared. Look at it. His soul left his body for
I
a
heard
moment.
it. I was listening to I think it was Fancy Footballers.
Dude, he's like sweating at this point.
Oh, there he is. He's on the flare.
He's all right.
Jesus Christ, Ryan! I just said I'm on.
I love it.
pins
No,
and
it is. I love it.
It was my intention to scare you, but
No, do it. Do it more
I was
often.
more like looking out for you.
Who cares? Like, you're not.
No, I want to play just an active lineup. That was only
That
my
would
thing.
kill
is,
me
like,
if I
don't
started
wanna,
someone who was doubtful or something.
No,
in
but
the
like somebody
playoffs.
who doesn't play in the playoffs, you're gonna go, wow, that's a bonehead mistake. I'm
Yeah.
trying not to be Matt Aberflus here, okay?
Smart.
So that's where I'm at in fantasy. We'll see what happens. I mean, just Thursday night, I think, is very inconsequential overall for the playoffs because you're gonna have a team just with the matchups of each big player. Like I have Derrick Henry going against the Giants. I would assume he's going to run.
Derrick Henry is going to get 100
for
yards.
300 yards.
Hope so.
Shit like that. All right, Ryan, what you got on your where are you at?
All right, I'll just break it down all 3 leagues. League of
Break it down.
Assholes, Big League. I put up 125 or 8, and I lost. So that was stupid again. I told you guys the last 6-7 weeks, everybody puts up 120 or better against me. Kyle put up 136 or something.
Who do you have that really?
Josh Allen, 51 points.
Ooh, that was it right there.
Dude,
Josh Allen.
I started Charbonnet, got me 35. I'm like, I'm looking great. And I got I'm started the right
Who got
guy.
you 35 again?
Charbonnet.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Walker, I had to bench him.
He was running pretty well, Charbonnet.
He was.
I benched Pickens before the game, even though they said he was out, but I had him in my bench anyway.
Smart.
I had to play Caleb Williams or Russell Wilson. They both did about the same. I played Caleb. Didn't work out. But yeah, I put up a lot of points and it didn't matter. But I did not get Sacko. So that's all that matters. I was one spot out of the playoffs. I was 7 out of 12. So It's unfortunate. I had a lot of tough losses this year. Also, some really good wins. So I mean,
We've only heard about your tough losses.
Well, there's a lot of them, man. I mean, so it sucks. But and then the other 2 leagues, I said in the 2 quarterback, I have a first round bye. I got the number 1 seed, locked it up 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So this week doesn't mean anything for that
bye
one.
week, yeah.
I do have Cooper Kupp going in that league, but it doesn't matter. And then in Woj's league, I surpassed him in the standings.
Ooh.
He lost to Surge, which actually just kind of sucks, actually, honestly. No, I wanted to play him in the playoffs.
That would have been cool, yeah.
Surge beat him, so now he's playing me.
Surge beat the pants off.
I'm the
me.
4 seed, he's the 5 seed, and Woj fell all the way to 6. We all have the same record, but his points are much
I mean,
lower.
I'm gonna just tell it like it is. In 3 penis wine, it's widely known that my team is quite weak.
That's why I was hoping to play you in the playoffs.
I have
Get that easy.
Yeah.
Well, I have essentially no running backs.
Yeah.
so.
I looked at his team like, how are you even in this? Like,
Oh, okay. Watch your mouth.
you have 1 running back and then a bunch of crap.
That's okay.
Well, I'm just saying.
He
you
made
do.
it to the playoffs.
Don't say how did you make
Your
it?
backup
I mean,
running
that's-
backs are like, what, like, who is he? Like Travis Homer or something?
I don't have Travis Homer.
No, who is
Oh,
Tajay
I love the shit
Spears.
talk
I got some
here.
Tajay Spears. I got
Terrible.
some
You have
Justice,
Tajay Spears.
Justice Hill
Terrible.
rocking.
Jesus.
I have the backup
that's
to
scraping
San Fran.
real low.
the backup to like Patrick
That's
Wilson?
the
or
Bush Light of running
Yeah,
backs.
no, I have Patrick Wilson. Wilson? Yeah, whatever the fuck. Backups on San Fran, but
what? Terrible. I wanted to play him. I wanted to personally escort him out of the playoffs.
That would
but
have been nice.
I'm not going to
I'd
be able
love
to.
to see
Okay.
it.
yeah, I see it. Yeah, Ryan's coming out fucking like goddamn
I'm that hater.
Mike
I love it.
Tyson.
Well,
Just
Coming
fucking-
out heavy. I love it.
Two
Your team
punches.
is fraud
Your
alert
team is-
in that league. I've said it the whole year. It's just like
right.
I was hoping to cash in the playoffs on it. That's all. And
That's-
it would have
that's
felt real
cool.
sweet to just take you down a peg in that league.
Oh yeah, you'd brag about it the next week. I'd love it.
Yeah.
But as I said, in the big money league, Woj's team, I like his chances to at least get to the finals potentially. And then
I look
him
at
and
it.
Kyle face off. That'd be a good matchup.
I was texting Kyle, shout out. Fucking
We got to get him on the pod.
about-
He won't come. But
He won't come.
whatever.
He's
But
ducking us.
I was hitting him up about like, okay, you know, like we're not gonna see each other. We're on the other side of the bracket, so like the only matchup that could happen is we both win
Yep.
championship, and then it's fucking on like I don't know, like just a quick question, shot of a cannon. Would you want to watch with your opponent, like if we got to like a bar?
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty.
I think that'd be
dope.
a real cool time.
To
But
just,
like
like-
bring some
as long,
friends
as long
too.
as I like my opponent, I don't hate them.
Give me a call.
Right,
I'd
true.
love to see you guys. I'd cheer you both on in different ways, I guess.
No, I think it would just be an interesting. Obviously, if your team lost, it would like that part would be like, eh. But I would also think like pretty much general gestures, like, okay, if I won, and like let's say we're out of the bar, I would be like, hey, I won. I'll pick up like a beer, or like, hey man, I'll buy you a beer, buy you a meal or whatever. Be like, yo, that's not
Like
me.
a pity party.
Like
It's
a well, like
yeah,
a
I
class,
got you.
more of a classy gesture. Like,
Oh, okay.
yes, I just
Pinkies up.
I just
dig it.
took this money from you, bitch.
Nice.
All right.
I agree. I think it's-
Ryan, you good on fantasy?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Let me rock mine real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got Family League. I'm in the playoffs. I think there's a lot of people.
How many teams make it in 14?
8, and 6 go to the shit
Okay.
hole. So I think like middle of the road there. I do have a weaker team compared to some of the others. However, I guess I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful this week. I think it's gonna be a closer matching. We'll see. In my other league, for my work, I have a bye because I'm tied for first. So this week is just right on through.
Do we all have buys in?
And then in my dad's league,
in
I'm in
one
the
league.
shit
In your
hole.
other league, you have a buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a buy?
Yeah.
I have a buy.
Bye.
All right, sweet.
High five.
High five. Nice.
Yes, you mush.
I mean, I think the stats will reveal themselves eventually over years that we do kind of know what we're talking about with
We know a
fantasy
little bit.
football. We know a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's
Sorry,
why
go
we're
ahead, Dad.
journeymen. You know, and then my dad's league is, you're well aware. So
The Las Vegas Raiders, you
oh
mean?
my god! And then he benched a player for our flex that would have won us that week. I'm like, no. He's like, Cam Akers has more potential. I was like, no, he doesn't. Allen is a better choice for this. And like, granted, the Bears suck, but I was like, let's start Allen because I understand like collectively throughout the year he's been rough, but I was like, he has a higher bar because Aaron Jones is going to start. Like there was some questionable around Aaron Jones. But I was like, and he's like, I flipped him out. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It
that's
doesn't
always
matter. We
gonna-
weren't going to win in the playoffs anyway, so it's like if we ever got there, we were going to get spanked.
Hug that mic a little bit too.
Oh, I'm coming in low?
I mean, for the first time ever, Bobby.
I know, right?
coming
It's
in
got to be at
little
first because I vocalize.
Vocalize.
All right, but yeah, that's it for.
Yeah, so all right, playoffs are underway. We'll check in. Let's flip it on the to me, there's not much to say about the Bears, at least from my side, is that
Garbage.
they got spanked by San Fran, but right now you just try and this is the only goal. Try and play good football and hopefully win a couple games, give, a little bit of progression into the offseason, go out on like a win or something like that. I'm not expecting Thomas Brown to come in and be like, hey, you're going to need to score 40 points a game. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. You maybe get a couple wins.
I'm a little nervous because I have Caleb Williams and Stroud. And Stroud just this year has been barely middle 15s, for like an average. Whereas Caleb against the Vikings, it's the Vikings. And let's just say this, their defense isn't something that you're going to, they're not top 10 by any means. So I'm thinking, dude, I'm conflicted. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, to me, that's a coin flip, honestly. In the general
scheme of thing,
comparison, I would say that the point differential is not going to matter that much. I
guess Caleb has the run power. That's the only thing that I think separates him.
I don't expect Stroud. I just looked at this on your phone the other day earlier as you were showing Stroud's overall season point. His max of the season 22.
Yeah, I would say Stroud's probably a higher floor, lower ceiling, and the opposite for Caleb. Lower floor, higher ceiling.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm nervous of this playoffs, so maybe I shouldn't play scared and throw Caleb in the mix.
I think it depends how bad you need the points and who's Houston playing.
Houston is hosting Miami, and you have the Bears at Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I played Caleb last week. I can tell you that the first halves for him are usually like garbage, and then the second half he turns
explodes,
it on. And maybe it's partly because they're losing and they're just playing off.
Exactly, they're always playing down. So I'm thinking maybe that's the right move.
He's definitely going to have probably 4 or 5 rushes, whereas C.J. Stroud probably won't have maybe one if any.
Maybe.
Okay, so this is what I would say is that if you believe that the Bears are going to be down, which
that's a fair assessment,
might happen.
But he had a good day against Minnesota last time. That's all I'm saying
I think that you have to just also learn is that he but I would assume maybe a turnover in some sense. Maybe a fumble, maybe a pick.
I mean, they're probably going to run a lot with Joe Mixon in Houston.
You just can't. So. You just also
that's it.
Are relying a lot on
Mixon,
but you're relying a lot on the Bears' offensive line. And
it's a risky proposition.
That's where. There you go.
I get it. I'm like you said, Mixon and some of the other elements.
I ended up playing Caleb over Russ last week. I had the same debate where it was kind of the similar thing.
I think Russ has a better line than frickin' Stroud.
And
though.
Russ had no pick-ins or anything, which also factored in my decision. But like, he only got 2 points more than Caleb, so I mean, it might be negligible, the difference anyway.
I don't think it is going to be negligible. I think that's the scary part. I think there's going to be an 8-point deficit between them.
I don't know.
And that could be winning the game or winning the week or losing.
Yeah.
You would at least hope in the playoffs that the teams that got in, the point differential is going to be close. I don't look at projections, but like at least to me, the teams that really scored a lot, like I don't see a lot of, I got gypped on this one because the fucking, I lost the last game or the tiebreaker to whatever. Like,
my question is, I'm curious, and maybe we don't know this information. We'll have to Google it. Is Minnesota is 11-2. You have Detroit, who's 12-1. I'm wondering if they, like I said, this is a game against the Bears. Like, I assume the win, but like I said, are they actually trying? Or are they going to be like, are they going to play their starters? Because did they already lose to Detroit once? Like, they're not going to be first in the NFC North. So it's like, do you play more of a protective way of, we're going to get the win, but we're pulling our starters?
No, I think I said it when we were watching the Thursday night game, the Green Bay, Detroit. Like 4 straight wins for any of those teams.
Say, can't the Vikings catch up to the Lions?
And anybody, because they play each other in the last 2 weeks of the season.
I guess you're right. I'm just, you know what? I'm conflicted, but we'll move forward. We have a few other topics.
All I'm just saying to end that is just that NFC North is still very much up for grabs.
Yes.
Just because they play each other at the end of the year. Packers, I mean, you kind of summed it up in that as well. I mean, you simply just need to play good football. Who do you play? Seattle this week?
Yep.
You
That'll
could
be a
win
game. That'll be a tough game.
You could definitely win that game.
Definitely winnable game.
I mean, it's really, I don't have, because, except for fuck you, Jaden Reed, like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're going to have to post that. He did in ice. Reed put up 0, and he was on my dad's team.
And this is the worst part, is that it doesn't seem to be, if the guy isn't even put on the field.
He was on the field constantly. That was the
dude. I was counting third downs. Fucking,
he was off the field a lot.
Fucking goal line. I know he's not the biggest guy, but goal line.
I don't
put him in the red zone.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when we were watching the game,
just bullshit.
We kept calling it out.
Third down.
Yeah.
No Jaden Reed.
Like he's on the field because they were.
No kidding. I thought he actually had a lot of snaps.
Well, I think it's because Bobby, I believe, and I'm not a Packers expert.
Is
but
Watson coming to life?
From what I saw, it seems like just they're running the ball more with Josh Jacobs, and maybe he's not a good blocker or something. I don't know. Like
that.
He's definitely not a good blocker.
Wicks is a bigger player. Maybe he's a better blocker.
He gets set better in edge. Yeah, I can see that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I definitely could see that.
I love the nicknames of the Detroit Sonic and Knuckles. That made my day seeing that. That was fun.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, they're fucking good. The Bears are fucking shite. All right, moving on here. Let's do the picks real quick here so that we can then just get through the last couple of stuff.
This commercial is like NFL Blitz over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Definitely so.
I love that game. That was such a fun game growing up.
It's awesome.
Rams-Niners, the game that we're watching right now. I got the Niners up 3 right now. I'm picking the Niners.
Rams.
I'm going Rams too.
Okay, Chiefs-Browns, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Bengals-Titans, Bengals. Mr. Upset?
No, Bengals.
Titans.
Bengals.
I'm going Tennessee.
I'm not going to lie, Ryan, just a little quick interjection.
Yeah.
Whatever game you fucking Mr. Upset last week when they lost and the correct team won, I just was like, yeah, right. I said it in my head. I was like, yeah, Mr. Upset.
You take those little wins. I love it.
Well, if you look back at the last episode, when he was like, I just was like,
hey, we bet Fryermuth against Ingram, and I won that one.
Yeah,
so.
Bobby and I got a bet. We haven't done Bobby's bets or Woj's wages in a while, but we'll put it on to next time. Everybody go for the Bengals Titans?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Commanders Saints. I got Commanders.
Commanders, yeah.
Ravens Giants. Ravens in a close one.
Ravens, yeah.
Cowboys Panthers. I want to go.
I go Carolina.
Panthers.
I'm going Carolina, baby. Do it. You're a Cowboy fan.
Carolina is favored. I think
for the Cowboy lover.
First time in 22. You know what? I'll go Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
I'll go Cowboys.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the Dallas Cowboys are gonna go all the way.
I feel bad for the fan base. I really
Jets
do.
Jaguars both
Who
3
gives a
and
shit?
10.
Jets. Mac Jones is playing for the Jags. So.
Yowza. Dolphins Texans. I got Texans.
Dolphins.
I knew it. Good upset.
Well, their offense is humming right now. So
yeah, they are.
I'm thinking if they can keep that up, they can outscore them.
Bobby, you said
I'm going Texans.
Colts Broncos.
Colts.
Okay, not a terrible pick. Bills Lions. I honestly don't know.
I got Bills. Lions defense has been.
Who's home?
Lions. I'm going Lions.
Man, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one for a good reason.
I'm gonna go with the Lions because the Bills just lost to the Rams, and that kind of makes me a little less. But they scored a lot. I don't know. I can see it either way. I'm gonna go Lions, but I kind of want to go Bills now. I don't know.
I'm hoping that lives up to the hype.
I think it'll be a hell of a game to watch.
I really hope. You have to hope.
That's a coin flip. I really don't know.
It'll be a fun game to watch. Like I said, you have a decimated Detroit defense. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a pool, that'd definitely be like my one.
Sorry, Bobby. You said
I'm going Buffalo, baby.
Buffalo. Steelers Eagles. I got the Eagles.
What a catch. Puka Nacua.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm also Eagles.
Fly Eagles fly. Patriots Cardinals.
No. Steelers. Changing it up.
Changing it. Okay.
Can we roll the tape back?
Yeah,
the picks I think we're in.
That was the last. I didn't take my hand off the piece.
Okay, let's just watch it for next time.
Steelers.
I like it.
Patriots Cardinals.
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 You were thinking about it. You were fucking thinking about it.
Cardinals.
Buccaneers Chargers.
Go Chargers. Go.
I'm going Chargers as well.
Okay, Packers Seahawks. I'm going Packers. I think they're
do
going
it, you whore.
Coming to Seattle.
Packers.
Good man, Packers.
I just don't believe in Seattle enough to pick them.
Oh, what? Jesus Christ.
That should have been picked.
You got Bears, Vikings. I mean,
Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
My heart says Bears,
But
but the brain says.
like I said, I hope Caleb brings it. I hope he has a day.
I mean,
I might start Caleb.
the fact
really
that
think I
they
might.
almost beat them before
Exactly. That's the thing.
is a little bit of hope, but I don't think that it's enough with Justin Jefferson.
What an asshole.
Justin Jefferson has had like a mid-table kind of like year, right? Last couple games, he's caught 2 touchdowns, like 100.
Addison's been getting a lot of
my
fucking
God,
looks.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, with Minnesota and they're starting to go up, the Bears are just kind of like on that plateau.
Bears suck.
I'm going Vikings, but I don't like it. Let's just say that.
Well, you can't be a homer and pick the Bears every time. You got to think with your brain. Come on, man.
No, I'm saying in something that I want to win statistically, like
It's what got your brother last place in the league. He's drafted with his heart, not with his head. You picked like
Jeremy,
four Bears players.
How do I join this league? I feel
Sorry,
like you guys are all a fucking amateur hour.
I did fail to mention. I forgot that we had one announcement. So Jeremy is the Sacko by tiebreaker because there was points for 3 penis wine. He went 3-10, I believe. So did Bronson. Sacko is just something you never want to have. And he's texting me throughout the season, just going like, "Yeah, my team fucking sucks right now."
Right, he drafted like 3 or 4 Bears, did he not? Then he drafted like
He had Caleb for sure,
then you have Keenan Allen,
and DJ Moore.
So he was on the Bears train. I get
you
it.
have Swift.
He's a Bears fan.
Oh no, I
I
can
have
understand the
Swift.
Bears train early on because they had a lot of hype going into the season. But Sean, 1-13, I called it lowest record I've ever seen in my life.
Damn.
Wow, I'm Sean.
At least he got 1 win. If he had no wins,
I mean, that's real bad. Yeah, there's no other way. I'm sorry.
1-13.
Bronson probably shouldn't have drafted 2 tight ends. That was
It's all right.
not a good idea.
I will just say in general, the Wickcamp gentlemen like to be a little
They're unorthodox.
unorthodox is a great term.
I dig it.
They throw a lot of shots out
Dude.
there, and some of them hit. I think
Some of them hit.
Bronson won the league before.
I remember him taking.
Fortune favors the
I
brave.
think it was like back-to-back picks of McBride and Pitts, and I was like, "What?"
McBride, I probably would have changed.
McBride was
it up.
good.
I like that
was
one,
a
but
great
then
pick.
afterwards I would
And
have
then
just.
I also remember he took Kirk Cousins, and then I had the pick after, and I got Jaden Daniels, and I was like, "Thank you for taking Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins."
dude, Jaden Daniels definitely.
Gladly take Jaden Daniels, or
Yeah.
maybe or
We got a few people to talk about too. And
Okay, we got one more game.
Yep.
We're
oh, sorry, dude.
no, I just wanted to mention the 3 penis wine. We're good. Falcons Raiders on Monday night. I got Falcons.
Falcons.
I got Raiders in the upset.
Okay,
Yeah, it could happen. I could see it.
it could happen. That is definitely.
I can't
true.
believe out of the 2 wins for the fucking Raiders, Baltimore is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bobby, you jotted down here
Some notes, yeah.
Burrow paradox. So
The
what
Burrow
is the
paradox.
Burrow paradox?
So Cincinnati's 5-8. Joe Burrow
He's
is
in like an MVP season.
MVP. I think he has the most touchdowns, most yards, second in QBR rating. And this is literally, and it was fun. I saw this YouTube video, but it's like, it's not his fault. He's putting up over 300 yards a game, like 4 touchdowns, and they're still losing. So Cincinnati defense is really that shitty.
Mm-hmm.
It just blows my mind. Like, here's a guy who is not going to make the
Chris
playoffs,
Collinsworth.
and here's a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But here's a guy. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again because fuck
said
you.
it
But
twice.
he could win MVP in terms of like QB. And
Oh,
on
the stats are there, but they'll never give it to a guy who.
Listen, Mike, here's the guy right here. He got Joe Burrow. He kind of looks like Macaulay Culkin. I don't know what to
I
think about
don't
him. Maybe.
You got to throw in the list.
I heard he just bought the Batmobile. This guy's crazy. I love him.
I mean, what are we doing? Here?
what? Playoffs?
Oh, dude, the playoffs feel so good to be in.
But no, like that's the reality. So what are your thoughts about Joe Burrow? Like I'm saying, I guess if you think about it for, let's say it is future possible eligibility for the Hall of Fame, like having this shitty record on does it blemish it?
no.
Wait, what? I mean, they would definitely look and be like, yo, Joe Burrow is slinging the ball. As you just said, defense is not showing up. Like, you can't – I feel like there's a couple things of, like, you can't hold Joe Burrow accountable for the shitty record altogether, but he has had games where he has thrown picks and stuff like that.
He's had a
fumbled the
few
ball.
mix-ups, yeah.
I mean, I don't look at Joe Burrow as like, oh yeah, this is anything to do with like you. Cincinnati just like they're in a tough division as well. AFC North, NFC North are two tough divisions. I mean, Cleveland's a dumbass. Like, let's call it. Like
I feel bad for the Browns fans. Like, we love that you guys run it. You guys are loyal to a fucking,
Loyal is all fucking good.
But I feel for your team. You guys always have the highest cap space for anyone, and you guys can't put together a winning team.
All right, Ryan, what do you
Well,
thoughts
Bobby,
on Burrow?
Yeah,
Let me tell you about this guy.
Well, Bobby, let me tell you about this guy. Couple things. So,
All right, thoughts.
one, it's too early to say if he's a Hall of Famer or not. It looks like at this point he's on trajectory, I would think, to be that.
That's
but
all
you
I'm
never know. He could get hurt or
He's
something.
young, dude. He's
Right, I'm just saying, but like,
26.
what if he gets hurt and he never plays again? Like,
I'd consider him better than Trent Dilfer, who has a ring.
sure.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm
but
saying.
okay,
But
we're
anyway,
not talking about a ring.
Yeah, we're talking about Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame is the part.
If he keeps going on this path, then definitely. I don't think your record is it matters a little bit, but if you're putting up like Hall of Fame stats, it's not going to matter. Like,
I would also think
Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Like
Right. No, okay, so
and
that's what I'm saying.
And Joe Burrow's been in the Super Bowl, so I mean that's
something.
That's something for sure.
I would also think though that just because assuming he plays a long years, 5 wins, a 7-win season, like it's not going to really affect, because you would assume if he's going to put up Hall of Fame numbers, he's going to be winning seasons, 12 wins, 13 wins, stuff like that. It won't matter in the long run.
Also,
Basically.
they're in a good division with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. It's not like it's like a cakewalk in there, besides the Browns, but they're improving with Jameis, so I mean, like,
You're right. Maybe his path towards, like, say, a profitable or winning future is tough, because you're right. He is in a tougher division. If he was in the AFC East,
like what if he was in the NFC West with like the Rams
Or
and
the
the
NFC
Niners
South.
and the
Holy
Seahawks
shit.
or something?
I mean, that is like a gunslinging fucking division, though. Every team has a pretty
right.
good
But all their
pass attack.
records are like a little bit of 500, around the 500 mark.
Because the defense is not able to keep up.
Sure.
So, no, and I guess that leads me to our next topic. I'm sorry, I'm going to run it too. Jamaar Chase, God tier level for wide receiver.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
He had
much
three. I
established.
just want to note this. He had 375 plus yard games this season alone.
I know. Ugh.
Isn't that incredible? You had 2 touchdowns, 14 receptions, and 178 yards, and you lost the game.
And they still didn't figure out the contract shit, right? Like
Yeah, they put it off till next year.
so
I
he's
think.
going to get even more money than he would have wanted already.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati, management wise, that was a bonehead move.
Well, they're
You
notoriously cheap
you-
as they used to be.
you should have signed him because you know what he can do. He's
Well,
already done it in his
well,
previous seasons.
Right, and not only that, him and Joe Burrow played in college together. And
Dude,
the
you got that
NFL. They have
connection?
they
The
can't,
LSU
you just
fucking
can't-
connection? Jesus.
with his talent and that connection, you just can't recreate that.
From what he did enough in the first year,
Yeah.
you know, like, what type of athlete he can be.
I mean,
like, he was hurt at points in
You
that.
see how
But
bad
it-
your defense is.
Is he
True.
okay? I think his wide receiver skills by itself speaks in volumes. But would you also say that his grandeur is almost because their team's always down? Like, imagine if your team's up, you're not going to get as many looks because they're going to run it a little bit more. But I think that some of his, I call it shine, some of his light comes from the fact that they're constantly having to throw the ball because they're never in a situation where they could run it.
I definitely look at a Jamaar Chase as like any true number one wide receiver on any team is like you would expect that person in a game where basically, again, the ground game is the priority, to expect them to have a stat line of something like 5 for 55 yards and a touchdown.
I mean-
like that should be their floor.
Right.
And that's what Jamaar Chase is. Like, he's in that tier of like any of those guys for me fantasy wise, of like an AJ Brown
That
or
guy's
a fucking
that guy's I think averaging almost like 18, 20 a week. At
Justin
this point.
Jefferson. Like, these are the guys that you at any point, what do you have this year? You said 175. There's like 3 different games of like 30-point plus games is nuts.
I mean, this year too, their team is just built to throw. Like they don't have Joe Mixon anymore. They used to run more.
They have Brown. Brown's doing a good job.
I know, but now
on the
he's
ground.
playing. But he's like a passing back. He's a pass catching back.
You're right.
He can run, but I'm saying
He's more of a hybrid.
He's not
I
like
get
a
it.
bruiser, you
Right.
know, like like Najee Harris or something, or like whatever, some big dude. But I think he fits in with the system where he can catch passes out of the backfield, but he can also get you some.
So that
runs
was
here and
that
there.
was I guess my inquiry is Chase a product of his environment, or is he truly god tier wide receiver status?
I mean, he's a beast. Did this at LSU. He did this.
Okay,
in the
so you're
NFL.
saying it's not sizzle, it's he's there. It's
I mean, he's never not done
it's
it
talent.
so far.
Okay,
Yeah, I think the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And
okay, I would agree.
exactly for that connection that you have a guy who played with him. I think they only played like 1 year though in college.
Well, either way, still.
No, I'm just
yeah.
saying is adding on the 1 year to now the 3rd year, I think, or 4th year.
They find each other easy, too.
Like you have an extra year where they have this
connection.
sure.
Sure.
connection. It's like it's invaluable in the NFL
Right.
when it works right.
Like look at
I think
what's
Jordy and Rodgers had it. When
like even
they
like
were playing.
Devontae Adams and Rodgers and he with Derek Carr when they
Devontae
played,
Adams and Carr.
They
Yeah.
played in college and they played in the Raiders and then he was terrible when he left and then he goes back to the Jets now and the team's not great but he's been doing decent better than he was back
Right.
to Rodgers. So I definitely think it plays a role because that guy's going to look for you. Like the way he moves at the timing and like just where he likes the ball, what he's capable of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely he's the guy, and I have him on a keeper league.
Damn.
I hate keeper
Fucking
leagues. God damn it.
Love it.
I know. Yeah,
It's
you're
the
gonna
dope.
be happy with that
It's
one.
the dopest tits. All right, let's do the. We're gonna skip the college football because I don't want to talk about that. Let's do the wine reveal percentage here.
So I got
Yeah, fill them in.
I got a tool called a hydrometer to basically test the alcohol content and proof of the wine that we created. And this thing,
Not we as in us three.
sorry, my family,
Right.
The
Family friend.
awful
that shit.
Christoffel comes in at, and Woj won this bet at around 8.5.
So-
So about 16, 17 proof. So
Yeah,
8.5%
so
alcohol.
I just fucking looked it up at like 62 or something like that. We with Dave Mars. I guessed 8.9, Dave 13.1, Ryan was 12.7, and
was at
Bobby
10.
was 10.2.
So a little bit less alcohol content.
What was it?
It came in around 8.5.
8.5.
Oh.
So
And I have some. You can look at the photos, so you can check it out. But
I'll put the
Woj
photo
got
of
the dub
wine.
on this. We came in a little bit lower, but we're gonna have a different batch. My mom and I are both agreed that we need to cut back our grape plants so they produce more grapes.
Okay.
Believe it or not, it's like I guess if anyone's growing grape plants, cut it back super hard. It'll give you a lot of grapes.
I think we have a lot of grape farmers in our
Illinois, actually,
audience.
believe it or
no,
not,
in
not
our
too bad.
audience.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever.
I would love if a grape farmer was like, yeah, this is absolutely right.
If you're a grape farmer, are you also a winemaker by trade?
I guess technically I'm a vineyard or what is it?
Vineyard.
A vineyard?
Or,
I
no,
say it how in America. Vineyard.
something like that.
Vineyard, like Derek Vineyard from American History X. I think I say it.
I guess so. So yeah, I mean, dude, I will be honest with you. The first batch, I was like, basically like, you taste it and then like tell me how you are in a couple weeks. To
No,
make
it's
sure
solid.
It's
It's just straight wine.
I know it was gonna be fine, but I was like, I'm gonna let you do the first
She
batch,
was a dirty girl.
and then
We're gonna try it again. We're gonna have maybe a little bit better equipment, but we're gonna try it again. But we need to cut back the grape plants so they produce more yield for this season. So we'll see.
Bobby will report back from the field on that at a later time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it up here. Just a couple minutes. It is in the Christmas season. We're doing Christmas themed movies here. So Bobby, put down your favorite Christmas tradition.
Yeah, real quick.
I know that I think we probably touched on this a little bit last year because now this is in our second year. I mean, Bobby, does like one come to mind that's like maybe newer? Not like newer, but like maybe something that's like, oh, it's a little enhanced now because you're an adult, you have money.
I'll just say this. I think my mom, bless her heart, I love my mom. She
Shout
made
out.
our Christmas so special in that, like, we had, I'll just say this, we were over an abundance of, like, presents, and just my mom goes all out in terms of decoration. So you have that festive feel to everything. So. And
I mean,
she
the fucking
cooks,
Coca-Cola basement.
Yeah, Coca-Cola basement. But she
So
cooks
cool.
the great meal for so just
I can
everything
attest-
around the season.
I can attest to that. She's a great
was
cook.
incredible. One thing that I do with Amber and I now, we do an advent calendar. She's a Disney buff.
Oh, yeah.
And each one of the days, I wrote up a question with a different point value, and at the end of it, your points add up to different tiers of prizes.
Okay.
She's always won, like 100%. Like I try to throw her curveballs, and she knows it. So
What's the other advent calendar thing that you?
So I
did?
have another one, which we have this.
Oh yeah, well, there we go.
There we go.
We'll put some pictures in.
And I'll put up a picture up there. So 12 days or 12 nights of Christmas. I bought myself a 12 drink of Christmas, and they have 12 different drinks. They kind of identify it, but it's like a question mark. And
little
today's
baby
margarita.
cans. Yeah, those are dope.
This is a 50 proof margarita. It wasn't that great, but like I said, I usually like margaritas that are more in that slushy format. This one, I kind of just drank liquid, so it is what it is.
Straight marg. I don't know.
But
marg
no,
on the rocks.
I'll send a picture. There's 12 other fun cocktail drinks. So 12 nights of Christmas, I'm doing 12 drinks of Christmas, I guess.
You know what? You know what I will say. I think I might have mentioned it last year. The movies, man. I know we do a movie podcast, kind of, but the movies part of Christmas.
Love it.
We just started the Jingle All The Way. I know we'll get to the review in a little bit here, but just watching it again, you're just like, damn, it's still the same. It's corny, it's like it's the same, but you're like, God damn, it's.
I always watch, like I said, I think it was Miracle on 34th Street, Frosty, and Rudolph. And I went to my godparents' house, and
Are you
we'd
talking
always
about
watch.
the claymation?
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yep. What about your traditions, Ryan? Or
Ryan, what you got?
I mean, when I was a kid, I guess we just decorating the tree. We always had the
Oh, that's nice.
the pickle, the ornament.
Oh,
It's
hide
like
the
a
pickle?
German I think.
Yeah.
We'd hide, you want to do that one. and
Is that a
then-
German tradition?
Yeah.
Hide the pickle?
I think it is like a pickle ornament.
Sounds gross
Oh,
when you say
pickle-
that, but
pickle
yeah, it's a
ornament.
pickle ornament, but you hide it somewhere in the
Okay.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Recently, I guess me and my brother and sister we usually go to the movies on Christmas.
That's fun.
Go see a movie together. So
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The movies, even though they're still getting so expensive, I'm still gonna pay it. Anytime there's a movie the last one I saw was Deadpool versus Wolverine,
That was cool.
and I was like, paying the money for this to sit in the seats and
IMAX and just enjoy
I was
yourself.
like, this is a great movie for this. It was just.
Well, yeah, I got the A-list, so I've had it for years. It's a great deal. Even if I don't use it, it's just gotta keep it because it's such a good deal. I pay $21 a month, and I can see 3 movies a week.
Damn.
Any
Worth it. Yeah,
any-
definitely for a movie buff.
Any format too, 3D, IMAX, whatever.
Now,
Dolby.
okay, real quick question. What is your favorite version of those three? The standard, the
Dolby.
IMAX, and then
Dolby
the Dolby.
IMAX.
The
right?
Dolby, because Dolby is basically like an IMAX theater, but you got the comfortable seats. Now, I'm talking about specifically about the theater at Barrington 30,
Okay.
the AMC. So the IMAX theater has the old seats where it's not the recliner, the old we used to go when we were kids,
Mm-hmm.
which they're okay, but they're not comfortable really, especially if you have a 2-hour plus movie. You'd rather have the other seats. So you go to the Dolby and you get the better sound. It's the vibrating sound in your chair and in the speakers, and then it's basically the same size screen. Maybe it's slightly smaller, but it's really big. It's bigger than your normal screen. So you're getting
Right.
kind of the best of both worlds, and you get the comfortable chairs, the leather seats, which are nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say.
Yeah.
What about
Okay.
you, Woj?
Well, Bobby, I already kind of said the movie part about.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of the Dolby and all, the Dolby, I think I'm always a audio type of
Definitely.
especially a movie that
Well, it's an action movie, especially too, or
action movies specifically.
sci-fi.
Specifically, it's also the finest line of how it can go wrong. I had to have told you guys at some point. I saw the Maverick,
Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick, and
Awesome.
they fucked
I saw it
it,
in Dolby. It was fucking awesome.
and they fucked up the sound though.
Oh,
it was too
no.
loud. So it was so fucking loud. I was like, dude, my head is vibrating every time they show the thing. And I was like,
I'm
despite
partially deaf, so I probably
I was fine.
right in the
I just was like, it's such a fine line though. Of like, if they do it right, there's nothing better.
Well, yeah, there are certain movies like that movie, or like like I said,
horror movies,
action movies,
horror movie probably as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
like Star Wars, shit like that. Like when you just see it on the big screen, like it just meant to see it. Like
Right.
just a different experience. Like
I can't believe you had such a negative with Maverick. That sucks, but that's okay.
It's just like it
was
fucking
great.
It's too
happened,
loud.
and then I was
Yeah.
also like, I already paid the ticket, so like we're in
Yeah.
it.
We're in it. Yeah.
Bobby, what you got though to wrap it up? Like Christmas? Oh, you already did the
I already
Christmas
did
stuff.
mine,
Shit, my
yeah.
bad.
What about you though? Did we ever land on you?
I mean, I just said like the movies year
Okay.
over year. It's like again consistent and something that
What
you
was
can go back
didn't
to.
you tell me before you have like Christmas movies on VHS? You have a VCR for you'd pop them in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got the old classic. You know the Double, the TV here, VHS player here.
The old TV.
in the old room. I got some VHS. There's nothing like it. I mean, when you
No, I love movies, but I could never pop in a VHS. It's
when you
just-
do
You're
the
such a purist. My God.
when you do certain like, I think like seasonal movies, like I'm like for like a Toy Story, like
no, I
you
get
know,
the
those
I
more,
get the nostalgia. Like them, I get that.
it doesn't feel the same though. To like if you were gonna be like, here's a Toy Story, then I kind of just feel like a child where I'm like, I could watch it on Disney Plus. It'll be
Yeah.
better, but
It's
no, I
below him. We got that.
yeah.
No, dude, but do you remember VCRs? They were a pain in the ass. The tracking and shit you had to do.
If they don't,
They're
yeah,
well
Rewind
aware.
it in there. You couldn't skip scenes. Like the quality is just like grainy. It's not. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's not a good
no, it's not great.
format to watch movies on.
You do it for the nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
For
That's
sure.
exactly right. Yeah.
But the other thing I'll just say about the Christmas stuff is, dude, it's starting with the food already. Like my mom bakes just as yours, like a shitload of cookies.
I used to go with my mom to the grocery store and get those like jingle cookies. I can't find them anywhere.
What the fuck are
anymore.
jingle cookies?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. It was like
familiar
the
with
green box holiday cookies, shape of like Christmas things, like a bell, a snowman,
yeah.
a star with the
Shit.
green and red sprinkles on
Yes,
it.
I know
Are
exactly
those
what
the
you're talking
sugar
about.
cookies too?
Yeah, they're kind of like, it's like, I don't know what I call them jingle cookies. I don't know if that's actually their name. I was just a kid. That's what I called them. But yeah, and then also the Cub Foods used to have they would make their own. It would be like in the shape of a wreath, and it'd be like green
fun.
sprinkles, and then like the
You
other
think
sprinkles as
Salerno?
lights. Yeah, probably. Yeah, those are it. Yeah,
Let me see.
With the star though?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. of,
anise flavored cookies. That's whatever the hell that means. They're delicious.
Fuck is an anise?
I don't know, but I can't find them anywhere. I've been looking. And,
I got anise.
I don't know if they're sold out. They just don't, or they get to order them special. But
All right, well, we're gonna be on a mission to get Ryan anise cookies now.
Yeah, if you guys know of a vendor, let
No,
us
we'll
know.
figure it.
Yeah.
We got the fucking internet.
We got the internet.
All right. So we gotta wrap it up. We'll get back. Movie review this week was who?
for me, it was Jingle All The Way.
With Arnold. Well, all right. Well, let's fucking wrap this shit up so we can talk
Yeah,
about
go
that movie.
get yourself a beer. We'll be right
we
back.
come back. It's turbo time.
Get a Dr. Pepper.
All right, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, this guy hates it.
All right. At another time.
Another time.
I will see you then, or I'll see you at another time. Wait, that's real confusing. Are you
Ladies
gonna-
and gentlemen. Nice, because the Bills D sucked ass, got me 0. Somehow in our league, where defense doesn't get ever 0, but I got a 0. So here's the ice. Mike's hard.
This is your first?
second
What?
lifetime.
Second
of the
lifetime.
Fan of the season.
Damn.
That's unfortunate. I'm not a good chugger, so I don't know. Hopefully I can do this.
I already got the
Good luck.
40-year-old man. Let's see it.
An open throat.
Cut the balls.
You did a good job.
It's all right.
That's not a bad pass. Take a second. Breathe.
It's not carbonation.
Yeah, look at the anguish. This is why we do ices, by the way. It's powering through.
Muscle through it. There you go, kid. Oh, almost.
A little bit more.
A little bit. There it is.
All right.
Fuck you, Bills defense.
Got it.
And we're back to the program here for our movie portion, which should be entertaining.
What movie is
the
it?
movie was my choice. It's Christmas month, right? It's December.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I was gonna go. I said it before. Woj did the one I probably would have done, but I let him. I think he wanted to do it, so I'm like, you can have it.
We just selected it.
And then
you didn't. If you fought me to the death on it and said, "Yo,
no, it's
this is what I'm doing."
There's that's like probably the one, but there are a couple of them. So that I also Sorry, I just chugged a fucking Mike's Hard, by the way. So.
The video is gonna people who.
If I sound a little tipsy or something, I probably am. So yeah, my choice is Jingle All The Way. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger starring movie from Sinbad. Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson, Anakin Skywalker, Jim Belushi,
Jake Lloyd.
And some other people sprinkled in there, but that's basically the main people. It's from '96. It's an American Christmas family comedy movie. It takes place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Basically, the plot is Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Howard Langston, and he is a businessman of sorts. He owns something like a mattress company or something. He's a salesman. I think he owns it. It seems like. Anyway, he has a son and a wife, and his son's about like 7-8 years old, I think, something like that. And he wants Turbo Man, which is a fictional character.
It's the hottest new toy.
It's basically it's kind of like back in the 80s with like the Cabbage Patch Kids. Like everybody has to have this toy.
Right.
And Arnold was supposed to pick up this toy for him weeks ago, and of course, because he's Mr. not paying attention to his family so much, he's really caught up in his work. He forgets to do so.
He
and
drops the ball.
Also, in the beginning of the movie, he misses his son's. He's late to his son's karate class, so he's got the guilt of that as well. He's kind of like failing as a father, essentially. Spending time wise, at least.
Yeah.
So he has to get this doll to make his son's Christmas, to make up for all the things he's been doing, not paying attention to him. And he finds out that basically it's impossible to get this doll. They're all sold out everywhere.
Let's also recognize it was Christmas Eve.
Right.
When you're going out to
he
find
went late as shit. Yeah,
the hottest
lied
toy.
to his wife, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's at the office."
Oh, no
Right,
problem.
yeah.
I'll just get it there. So basically, the whole movie is him trying frantically to get this toy. And along the way, he runs into Sinbad, who plays Myron who's Larrabee, who's a postal worker, a mailman. And he's hilarious.
Saving grace.
Most of his shit I heard was also for research was what's it called? Was
Improv.
Improv, yes. Thank you, Bobby. So they have funny interactions. Phil Hartman plays the neighbor who's like an adulterer, essentially.
He's divorced, but he's like trying to like.
He's banging all the neighborhood women. Yeah. And he has his eyes set on Howard's wife, Liz, played by Rita Wilson. Who's Tom Hanks' wife, by the way, side note.
That's an interesting factor.
Yeah, so he's lusting after her, and he's kind of like this goody two-shoes father, but not really, and, so there's kind of like friction there with Arnold and him. And it's a lot of funny things happen along the way of him trying to get this toy and make his son happy, basically.
Yeah, and there's a parade at the end with Iron Man in it.
Right, there's a parade, and he becomes, we're going to get into it, but he becomes the character, and him and Sinbad square off.
Right.
Basically, it's a lot of the movies, him running around different stores, different places, doing anything and everything he can to get this doll to make his son happy.
A lot of hijinks happen.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's really funny.
All right, let's go to the
you're
first.
Bobby and you don't like it, but
First category.
People like it.
I just have some thoughts on it.
So I'm going to start with like our experiences with the movie.
Go ahead.
I'm going to start with mine. I definitely saw this growing up. I don't know when. I'm sure probably when it came out. I imagine I've been like 7, so it was always like kind of like a staple Christmas movie in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I definitely have like a lot of nostalgia for this movie. Like, that probably makes me like it more than maybe someone who doesn't have that. I would say, I acknowledge that. But yeah, for me, I would say I generally like to crank it out every Christmas. With them. that didn't sound
crank it out.
Soundbite.
I like to crank it out every Christmas.
Soundbite.
Cut that.
Dude, no, we're putting that in.
Sure
That's
going
That was
in
funny.
Instagram.
Oh man. Okay.
Change our intro with that. We're gonna crank it out right before Christmas.
Every Christmas. That was hilarious.
Okay, so
All right, bring it back.
Let's bring it back. Every Christmas I usually put it on. It's one of my go-to Christmas movies. I just find it hilarious. I love Arnold and Sinbad. I love Phil Hartman. I honestly think we'll get into it more later, but if if they weren't in it, this movie wouldn't be what it is.
No, definitely.
They like their performances and chemistry just makes it hilarious, like makes it memorable for me. Like I always quote it with my brother and other people, but especially me and him. Woj, yeah. So I love it. So how about you, Woj?
Yeah, I mean, this is I probably hit the right age. I was like 5 when this came out, so I'm sure this was like a nice PG movie that, you know, we would kind of just get into the rotation. That's a different way than saying crank it out.
I liked it. I thought it was funny as shit.
You know what's funny? Like I said it, and then but as I was saying it, I was like, crank it up, no.
Like your brain, yeah, it's like you're trying to filter it. It's like too late.
Like it makes sense, but it also sounds horrible. But whatever, continue.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely it just kind of kept him. It's like, I think it also relates to like if the characters of the movie are like younger children. Obviously, when you picked them up, being a younger kid,
yeah,
I feel like you go back to them.
I was gonna say too, when it came out, I was probably like around the same age as Jamie, so it was
Right.
like I could relate to the way he's dressed, everything, the '90s.
Well,
like,
90s fashion was
full
full
flex.
Yeah, in this movie here. What about you, Bob?
No, I've seen this movie from time to time.
Hug
Obviously,
that mic a little bit.
during the holidays. I'm pretty. Hopefully, I'm coming through. But
No, you coming
yeah,
through.
I'm
you
coming
just-
through. All right. No, but I've seen this throughout the holidays. It's like I said with Sinbad and Phil Hartman. Their presence in this Christmas movie, I think, makes all the difference. But you know,
What's your experience with it? Like, have you seen it before?
When did you first see it?
I saw it when I think it was probably like 9, 10, something like that.
So clearly, this is not a go-to for you, Bob. It would not be an
No,
understatement.
I guess I have a different experience because I'd always go to my godparents' house right around Christmas. We'd watch the Frosty, Miracle.
No,
on
I watched
34th.
those too. Not
No,
Miracle.
and then like Rudolph and
Yeah.
all those, I guess, classic hits. And that was my that's my understanding. That's my upbringing for like Christmas movies.
Yeah,
so
those are the ones
this
you go
I
back
saw
to.
kind of in between. Like we call it like just chopped in. So best way to describe it.
Okay. So before we get into this scenes, there's just a couple of things I'd like to just kind of go over, like kind of like bits or reoccurring things in this movie I think are just great.
Okay.
Sinbad versus Arnold, the whole movie, their whole dynamic of the yin and yang, where they're like frenemies essentially, like they're like against each other, but like sometimes they're bonding over. They can't find this toy, and they're going through like a similar, like they're both fathers, like the diner scene, for example, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh, why do we have to do this? It's just a stupid toy," and whatever. But anyway, their interactions are hilarious. Phil Hartman versus Arnold, again, same thing, where it's like the whole movie, like they're like banter,
Conniving
like, little,
son of a bitch,
like,
but yeah.
let me throw some chains around you, or just shit like they under their breath they might say, or the whole the cookie thing.
Very 90s. That's what I liked about it.
Arnold versus Barnaby Jones, the whole movie.
The cop,
The cop is great. Like how he just somehow just keeps fucking his shit up. Like he pulls him over in the beginning and then, knocks his bike over, the bomb thing, the coffee, like all these things. I think that was a great little bit.
Yes, Robert Conrad.
And then, of course, Ted lusting after Liz. The whole movie was kind of weird for Phil Hartman to see him in that, but it was pretty funny, I thought.
That's what kind of brought this, like, I guess Phil Hartman, one of the best comedians, like growing up, and he was a lot of voiceover work with The Simpsons, which we're all familiar with. It kind of eked me the wrong way seeing him being this like divorced, philanderer, just trying to get his beak wet with everyone in the it rubbed me the wrong way because he's funny and a lot of his parts in this is funny, but I didn't like his character. That's just my own.
Okay.
I also noted down, I know Bobby disagrees with this, but I'm just going to say it. Arnold is unintentionally funny and sometimes intentionally funny, but I think no one else would have brought the same thing to this role, which is what makes this movie what it is. I think say Tom Hanks is in this, it's not going to be as memorable as it is with Arnold in it. Like I think like the way, the type of actor he was, like the I don't know what it's called, the star power he had or whatever back then, especially and the way he just as an actor is, I think it makes this movie something, like I said, memorable and special. Whereas someone else who it would have been your run-of-the-mill Christmas movie. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I think if Phil Hartman played Arnold Schwarzenegger's role and you brought in someone like John Goodman or something like that to play Phil Hartman's original role, this would have a better taste in your mouth.
Okay.
I don't think that Arnold carries any type of humor. I think by laughing at him trying to speak English is just like there isn't comedic timing.
But it's not all that.
Okay.
That's sometimes.
Can I just make
Yeah, go ahead, Wood.
a quick point here? We can't get into the
we absolutely can. But.
we can't get into the deep discussion of Arnold Schwarzenegger, funny or not, basically.
Action star, period.
Which is asinine.
Good point.
It's not even.
Good point.
It should be a rhetorical
Thank
question. So I'm just saying we got to get to categories and.
Yeah. We got. We're good. Okay.
No, I'm just saying that debate, the Arnold funny, it'll take just too long.
All right, cool.
Maybe do a sandpaper.
All right,
hour.
for sure. 2 more quick notes, and then I'll get to the scenes.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say I love the '90s setting.
Yes.
I love the whole the aesthetic with it. I love the toy stores. Seeing that again made me feel nostalgic. All that kind of thing. The downtown Minneapolis setting, I thought was really cool. A lot of good use of
actually filmed in
the
Minneapolis.
Mall of America.
Mall of America's
the
featured.
radio station scene where Sinbad's running down that thing that goes over the street.
Yep. Yeah, and Mickey's Diner. That's an actual establishment still in
Mickey's
St. Paul.
Diner was great. Just all the aesthetics with that I thought was really cool. It's not really like a city you get to see a lot of in movies, so I thought that was kind of a good choice.
Yeah, definitely so.
And also, last thing, I love Arnold's house. He's that cool double staircase thing where it goes into one staircase. I don't know what that is. A cool architecture, and I love Jamie's room. He had a really cool room, and he has a clubhouse. I thought that was a cool.
I mean, let's also. Howard has to be the president. I think
he's making a lot of money.
I'm just saying,
house is nice. Yeah,
he's got a very nice house with a very. A lot of accoutrement in the house.
All right, for sure. Let's go with scenes now. Let's get into some. I do agree with you, Woj. Let's get into some scenes. Who wants to start?
I'll do a quick scene. I really enjoyed the phone call conversation with Phil Hartman when
cookies.
He was calling in about the cookies and oh, your wife's in the shower. Do you want me? That whole back and forth that had me in stitches. And like I said, it's Phil Hartman and a lot of Sinbad that make this movie great. But
I mean, that scene is great. First of all, Arnold using a payphone. You don't see that anymore.
Right, that's a dead technology for all you millennials.
On the house phone, on the landline.
Yeah, he picks up his home line.
Yeah, he's being real creepy. He's like, "Go take a shower. You deserve it." He makes this weird face when he takes her apron off.
Yeah.
Well, they hug. He takes it off that way.
And he makes that face.
That kills me.
And
he's
then
acting like a creep.
Yeah, the boys are play fighting. He's like, "Pipe down in there." I fucking love that. And then he calls, "Oh, Howard, these cookies are
you wouldn't believe.
He's having an orgasm over him. Basically.
I know. He's like, "Don't you ever taste my wife's cookies?"
Who told you to eat my cookies?
Yeah, I think he's rubbing it in. I think this is how Ted does it.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Little
I'm
jabs.
not gonna overpower you.
Yeah.
But I play I'm the handyman.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite first
slithering
scenes.
son of a bitch.
The woman comes over to Ted's shoulder in the karate tournament.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Ted, if you don't mind coming over, check my porch light." And then he's just like, "Sure." And he looks over at Liz.
He's like, sorry. It's I've got just the tool.
He's got a deep bench. It seems like in those suburbs.
All right, somebody else with another one.
Man, there's so many. I'm gonna go with the first time where Howard and Myron meet in the line in the toy store.
Yes.
Should I just do the model, or do you want to do the model?
Do you got the full thing?
I do have it. Yeah.
You have the full thing. You have the whole timestamp 17 to 1815.
I think I do. Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Unless
what does it start with?
How about these stupid letters from kids that Santa?
Oh no.
Okay,
man,
where does it start? Go ahead.
This starts with "It's the busiest time of the year." I'll do the first part and then you take it out. All right. It's the busiest time of the year for me. All these important Christmas letters, people sending to folks they only talk but once a year, not to mention relatives sending presents they're going to have to send back. How many toiletry kits does a man need? And there you go.
Okay. How about these stupid letters from kids that Santa at the North Pole? Dear Santa, can you send me a bike or a slinky? No, your father's been laid off. They sit there and use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. And I know what I'm talking about because I went to junior college for a semester and I studied psychology, so I'm right there. I know what's going on. And then they sit there and make your children feel like garbage. And you, the father, who's working 24/7 delivering mail so you can make an alimony payment to a woman that slept with everybody at the post office but me. And when you get the toy, it breaks and you can't fix it because it's cheap little plastic. You know, like to walk in the office, grab one of those guys and choke him, and I pop their eyes out. Hey, shouldn't wear fur.
Shouldn't wear fur is the greatest. And
so he ends up
choking
this lady in the line. And anyway, he tries to introduce himself to Howard, and he's like, "We should work together and shit." I think, or maybe that's later, but I don't know.
After they go through and there's no toys in the first place.
Yeah.
They then go, hey, you want to team up? And he's like, no.
And that scene too. They go into everybody rush into the store, and then there's no Turbo Men. They're like, hey, they're asking, and everybody makes fun of them, like, you guys are fucking idiots for coming at the last day. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, but he was also like, I'm good enough to talk in the line, but not good enough to be on your team. See, that's racism, man. That's what Jesse Jackson was talking about.
Can we talk about the scene where Arnold, they're in the Mall of America, and they all are trying to get those like colored balls.
Yeah, it's a random pull.
And then he gets it. He's like, aha, I got it. He's like, get him, and like the
he
whole
got
crowd.
He got two.
And they just swarm his ass.
That's one of the best scenes by far.
Dude, when he's getting down, and for people that don't know, I mean, dude, he's going Rodney King compared to the Rodney King.
And the fucking ball just bouncing every which way. Fucking Arnold jumps onto a piano from the escalator, and
there's no way that piano doesn't get smashed.
And eventually ends up in a girl's little buggy thing, and then he follows her through the jungle gym into the ball pit, and tries to grab her, and the moms all slap him with their purse. I'm not the pervert. She has my ball. So good.
Which is also a crazy idea for like, hey, we're gonna give away a few. Let's just toss all of the balls and then.
Well, they wouldn't line up in an orderly fashion.
True,
so it was
but
just
like,
kind of like, hey.
I get it for the movie, but it's just like a toss in the air. It's like, oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Sheer chaos. I like a couple of the cinematic shots of, like, and I say cinematic of it, just like it's kind of particular to Christmas movies and stuff like that. Like a quick zoom in and the eyes wide of like, when he forgets the doll.
Yeah, the crash.
Yes.
Yeah. A couple of those happen. I do like those. I'm just a huge fan of any of Sinbad's monologues anytime in a movie.
Well, I think, again, I'm going to just another best scene with them at the radio station.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. The diner running to the radio station and through that whole thing is great. Like Arnold running him, outpacing him, and Sinbad like just tossing mail out of his
Dancer,
bag.
Prancer, Vixen, Karma, Cuba,
I'm
Donna,
having a very good time.
I'm having a good time.
I could do this all day. And then Martin Mull as the DJ is great.
Yeah, dude, he's in a bunch of shit. He just died a couple months ago.
And then so he thinks they're gonna get a. They think if they do this thing, if they know all the reindeer, they're gonna get a Turbo Man doll. But it turns out it's just a gift certificate for one.
It was a radio contest back in the day.
Right, so you had to call in, and they're getting on a payphone.
Yeah,
so old school. And when they get there, they don't have it. And Sinbad threatens him with a bomb, with a plastic explosive, because they come in the mail. Back then it was like the Unabomber and shit. It was like a big thing. So, but that, and then when the police come and he again does the bomb thing, and Barnaby Jones is there, and Sinbad and Arnold run away, and it actually turns out to be a fucking bomb.
Well, the first one's not a bomb,
right? And then the second one,
he's
thinks
like, "Holy shit!" Yeah.
Second one,
there was actually a bomb in there.
The cop goes, spent 10 years on the bomb squad. And he walks up to it and he starts shaking.
He shakes
it.
and then he opens.
And then Sinbad
There's
after.
really a bomb in there.
He's
Sick world and some sick people.
It's a sick world.
Guys, we're skipping past. I think the funniest bit in this whole movie is the Santa fight with the warehouse.
Oh
where
my god, that's a good.
They try to steal $300 off him and give him a Mexican Turbo Man or
so
a Spanish.
It's an entire Santa operation, though. Like
you have
they
a bunch
are
of Santas and
counterfeiting toys. It's like the fun. Everybody's dressed as Santa. The accountants and like corporate is like elves and shit.
Yes, that's
and
great.
you have the Big Show.
You got Jim Belushi as the main guy. You got
main
the Big
Santa.
Show. You got Mickey from Seinfeld.
You got Danny Woodcocks, I think is his name.
Like I said, I think that helps me and not like really,
Danny
that
Woodburn.
helps the movie entirely.
I'm gonna deck your halls.
And then you have the one Santa that has nunchucks.
Yeah, Arnold gets in a huge fight with them, and he hits him with the cane,
candy
4 in a
cane,
row.
yeah.
And
you have a little person thing that the Big Show punches.
Yeah, he punches.
I love.
Like
He went,
30 feet.
"Hey!" Was that Vern Troyer, by the way? I feel like it was.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. He fucking flew like 100 feet in the air, by the way. That was fucking great.
See ya.
That was some wire work.
Send it.
That was like the Matrix or some
Yeah.
shit. He fucking anyway. And I also love at the end of that scene, the police raid the warehouse.
Yeah.
And Howard smartly, which I don't think would work, is again, it's gonna be a picky later. But
We'll
grabs
talk
a toy badge and is like, "I'm the
He goes
sloppiest boss I've ever seen."
Undercover
for
detective.
2 years or
The
something.
commissioner is going to have through the roof when he hears this. But
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit.
I don't know. Yeah, except that Santa Claus scene is great.
That brought it back for me.
What would you any other ones? You like
Yeah,
told you?
I would. I just got a couple of the other ones. Giving the reindeer beer, like after he's had
A rough day.
So Ted has a reindeer for the holidays, and I mean one of the
Which is also named Ted.
Yeah.
right.
Which is a funny thing too when he calls Jamie.
Yeah.
And he says,
Petting
"Where's
Ted.
Mom? She's next door petting
Petting
Ted."
Ted, yeah.
What?
But it also he's like, why do you have a deer? He's like, I've been watching a family of deer down by Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
In the spring, I hope to go up there. Hope they
Release him
accepts
back
him
into
as
the
one of their own.
Take him in as one of their own.
But yeah, he's like, Howard ends up punching the deer because it's going fucking rabid.
It's fucking like outrageous and hilarious in such a 90s
Yeah.
like movie
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like
Gives him an uppercut
I
at the
love
end.
it. It's great.
And he just he's pouring beer in the
He's pouring
dish.
him like
Miller High Life.
champagne of beers, right?
Yeah, I think so,
like
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, right? Yeah.
And then when Ted tries to go in for a kiss, and Liz just smacks him with a thing of eggnog.
Yeah.
His glasses pointing the fucking.
I was like,
wrong
we should
direction.
definitely mention the finale of at the parade. Arnold, he sees Liz and Howard making a move on Liz, and then he runs into the cop, Barnaby Jones, spills the coffee on him, and then he
just
runs into a
hightails
bus,
it,
and
yeah.
he hides in like a building, and it happens to be the staging area for the Turbo Man
Parade route,
guy
yeah.
or whatever. They put him in the suit. And then he picks Jamie to get the toy, and of course, and Sinbad also stole the Demento, the villain suit. So then they're squaring off, on the parade flow, and there's like a whole like thing where he's chasing Jamie
It's definitely
through a
that,
roof to a tree thing on a roof.
but it's definitely in '90s. I think in early 2000s did that a lot of
Yeah.
like on the parade float or on like there's like a performance that they're doing something from the show for the little kids.
That's not unheard of.
No, it was I don't mind it, or I like it's entertaining. Like I don't know how else like I think it was a clever way to kind of tie in the Turbo Man show in
True.
real life with Arnold, who's like an actual action guy. Giving him 'cause he can do that stuff obviously. Yeah. Any other ones? You guys
I'm good on scenes.
cool. Let's go quotes because I have a lot.
I've been mixing them in, but
Yeah, we've been
You-
mixing some in.
you're my number one customer.
I had that too.
He's just
I like
so
this one.
busy.
You can't bench press your way out of this
yeah.
one.
Of course, when they're at the radio station, and you too, Barnaby Jones.
Well,
He looks at him.
the part before that is so good though, man. He's
With
like,
the guy laughing, he's like, "Oh, you laughing?" I love that.
he's like, I work for the post
Yeah.
office, so you know I'm not stable. Tell him. He's like, this
Yeah, he's
man is
insane.
totally insane. Thank you.
Thank you.
You too, Barnaby Jones.
Yeah, you too, Barnaby Jones.
God damn.
How about wait, hold on, I gotta find it.
I'll go real quick. So when Arnold's fighting that reindeer, ends up again hijinks the what is that called? The nativity scene.
Yes.
Those figures. One of them
The
falls
plastic,
into the thing, and then
Fireplace.
Arnold kicks it out the window to put it out, and Ted just comes up to him and goes, Balthazar.
Balthazar.
That's actually, I think, the correct name of one of the
Balthazar. Yeah.
Phil Hartman, man.
Phil Hartman.
When they're in the radio station, he's like, "No, I had no plans." He's like, "You were you know different than the rest of those civilians, those common letter writers who make fun of my Nissans in my safari hat in the summer." And the
Thank
DJ
you.
laughs at him.
Oh,
He's
you
like,
laughing?
laughing at me? Oh no, Lord, no, not at all. Mr. Ponytail Man, I know you. I know your kind. You're the kind that puts the trash can in front of the mailbox after getting out of my Jeep, don't you? No, not true. I recycle. Shut up. Yeah, shut up.
That's such a good one.
That's right, shut up.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, little girl. Look what I got for you. A shiny red ball. You want to trade?
I got Jim Belushi as the Santa, like as they're trying
he's
to
great.
coax Arnold to give the money. It's like Santa never delivers a gift in broad daylight.
Yeah. Or he's like, that'll be $300. No, chocolate kisses. Yes, dollars. I can't believe this. What happened to your lofty ideas, huh? I thought they were doing all this for the kids. Well, sure, but I don't see why I can't make a little loose change in the process. So good.
I got he's like climbing up. They get onto the top of a building, and Myron's like,
Oh, here we
"I'm
go.
scared of heights.
Have
Haven't
you
you seen
seen
the movie Vertigo?
I mean, anything to you?
That mean anything to you?"
That was a good one.
You know what? Nobody likes you, Booster. I always say that. Me and my brother
And he
always say
punches
that.
him
And,
out.
and the other, get him away, box. He knocks the fucking box over in the parade.
I like Curtis Armstrong as the guy who plays Booster,
Yes,
and they're like two
yes.
second. He's from like Revenge of the
I
Nerds,
think I
a
know
bunch
you're
of
going
shit.
with this.
And he's like, Where the hell have you been? Because Arnold's like the
Jeez.
stand-in. I've been sweating like a dog in a
Chinese
shop.
restaurant. Waiting for your sorry ass to show up.
Oh, that was a good line.
I know you. You're Booster.
No one likes you.
Yeah, and who the hell you think you are? Mary Poppins?
I like the Big Show Santa. He's just called Huge Santa, I think.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Santa
I'm gonna
on
deck
roids.
your halls, bub.
Yeah.
I like that. He's doing the suspenders.
Right. And then when the police come in and Mickey's like, it's the Grinch, scram.
Yeah, dude, I love that they have cops are the Grinch. I am good on the
I
quotes.
got a couple more.
Go ahead,
When
go
they're
ahead.
when they're leaving when they have the bomb thing, and Myron's like, I don't know if you move because I have the ears of a snake. Ciao, baby.
Put the cookie down there.
Yeah. Who told you to get my cookies?
Howard, these cookies.
These cookies. How many years in the bomb squad? I like that one. Tata Turtle Man. He calls him Turtle Man instead of Turbo Man. I don't know why.
In the beginning, he's saying,
We said he got two. We got two and get the mailman. We got that. We got the Rodney King one.
he's like, and if I didn't have enough pressure in my life, my son sent me out for some goofy butt toy, some fruity robot named Turtle Man.
Yeah, it's Turbo Man.
It's Turbo Man. My son wants one too. Yeah, but Arnold isn't the enunciation
Don't give him dialogue.
king.
Don't give too
This isn't
much.
like, I mean, like, this probably isn't a quote for most people, but I just like, for some reason, the way the guy says it always sticks with me. The black diner guy, he's like, hey, guys, the radio station just 2 blocks on Wabasha.
Yeah.
The way he says Wabasha, I don't know why it always sticks with me.
But it does sound like a Minnesotan.
It is a Minnesota accent.
Wabasha.
No, like a Minnesotan street is called Wabash.
Yeah, That doesn't surprise me.
Howard, they say it might get icy later. You might want to wrap some chains around those tires. Maybe wrap some chains around you. What?
Yeah, like I said, Phil Hartman, man. It just, I like I said, don't like the character he portrays, but he nails it
I think
in
that's
terms
all
of
I have.
comedy.
I have a ton.
I'm good on quotes.
Yep, we're good.
All right.
Put a bow on that.
Put a bow on it. Let's go on to. Let's go with the supporting performance. I think obviously Sinbad and Phil Hartman would be the two, contenders.
I think
So let's
that's-
decide between. Let's just go with them first. I like Sinbad.
I don't think there's any. The movie needs of somebody, the annoying neighbor type of thing. Phil Hartman's great at it, but it's Sinbad hands down.
No, you're right.
I
there
love
is
Phil
no-
Hartman though. I just want to say it's
Right,
There is no
nothing
movie
against him,
without-
but yeah, Sinbad had more screen time, had some better jokes, some better
now.
setup.
Let's look to the lower tier. Who besides those guys would you have next if you had to have another person?
I
I would say like Jim Belushi
I
was
go
pretty good.
Jim Belushi. The kids in this are
No, they're not great.
just kind of
I think
whiny.
Mickey's character
Mickey's
provides
great.
some good.
Big Show was
yeah,
great.
Big Show was good, so-
Martin Mull as the radio DJ was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
All right, cool. So let's go to the that guy award, which I had a ton written down.
I mean,
about-
dude, there's a
How about you
million.
run it then?
all right, I'll
There's
run
quite
it.
a
There's
few.
quite a bit of Seinfeld people in this.
Yes, there was. I
Jackie
loved it.
Childs is the parade announcer,
Oh my God, you're right. Yes.
and the lady with him, who I didn't even realize until I watched it. I've seen something a million times. Is she was on The Office as Donna, the one that Michael had like an
Yes,
affair with, and
yes.
she's also Wendy Wheelchair in Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is a
Oh.
notable episode.
Fun, yeah. You love
Oh.
Kirby.
You got Mickey from Seinfeld, obviously, as the elf Danny
Yeah,
Woodburn.
Danny Woodburn.
You got Anakin Skywalker, Jake
Yep.
Lloyd.
Anakin Skywalker.
I put Rita Wilson down. I don't know. She's Tom Hanks' wife.
Right.
The Big
She's
Show.
been in stuff.
She's
too.
been in some stuff.
I mean, yeah. Chris Parnell. I don't know if a lot of people know who that is.
Chris Parnell was in that.
Chris
yeah.
Parnell was one
Who
of the
was he?
guys laughing at
He's
Arnold's
the guy who went
faces.
to the toy store, the first toy store.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He's one of the
And
toy.
the other guy is,
clerks.
I don't know who he's familiar too. I don't know his
Parnell, dude. He's got a lot of voiceover work.
name. I don't know if Martin Mull counts, but I put him down.
Martin Mull's been in
He's
it.
in Roseanne. He's
He was
a
in
lot
a
of things.
ton of shit.
Yeah, you know what? I think Martin Mull would be my pick. If I had to pick that guy.
Curtis Armstrong is Booster again. He kind of had some run, obviously in the '80s more than.
He's still in a bunch of shit.
And then
now.
this guy is a random
All right,
one. Most people might not know.
Who you got?
Steve Van Worm plays the Parade Turbo Man technician, and he was in
that was
Meet the
talking-
Deedles with Paul Walker for some reason. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
ever seen that. I saw that one as a
He's
kid.
the one explaining the safety concerns and all that. Okay,
That's all I have.
Never seen that.
Martin Mull for me. Would be-
Yeah, you got Harvey Korman, who's in countless Mel Brooks stuff. He
Who's
was
he?
in. He was the president in the first scene.
Oh, in the beginning, yes.
They
The
do like a
fake
little
TV show.
Turbo
Yes.
Man show, right? He was also on Carol Burnett's show for a long time. He's fucking hilarious. You got to watch Harvey Korman stuff. Watch his shit. He's funny. Lorraine Newman was in SNL. She was the president's wife.
Yes.
And they're the mother of the son or whatever.
Is that intro scene? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, very first scene there. And then who the fuck else did I have?
That felt like
okay, hold on. This
Flash Gordon-esque.
Okay.
That whole intro.
Marcus Toji.
Yeah, he's the kid with he was on the Disney Channel. He was
Dude,
the
he
remote
was
control
in
car.
so much
He's
shit.
in Little Giants.
Yeah,
you're
Little
right.
Giants.
He's the kicker.
You're right. He's in a few.
Yeah, that's a good one. I had him down too.
Hey, that one's my guy.
Okay, I like it.
guy.
That was
Yeah.
a deep pull.
I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the Amy Peets lady because I've seen this movie a million times. I never realized that was her until the other day. I'm like, I think that's the lady from The Office, like Donna.
Oh yeah.
So, but I could be. All those were great. Definitely worthy of mention.
Okay, moving on.
Now, I would not recast anybody, but I just jotted down, like, if this movie was made, let's say, 5 years later, I think it probably wouldn't have been Sinbad and Arnold because they're a little older and maybe past their prime or so. I think that Martin Lawrence would have been great in the Sinbad part. I think he's pretty funny.
yes, I would take that.
Martin Lawrence, hell yeah.
It's Steve Zahn in the Arnold part. Again, I don't think it's as funny, but they had that movie together. Remember the cop movie together?
That movie, National Security,
Yes.
fucking, I love that movie.
Hold on,
I think they would work. It could work well together. Like,
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
all right, so I would flip it. Phil Hartman becomes
Howard.
Arnold's character, and you could bring in someone, I'd say equivalent to like a Mel Gibson to go in that spot because the divorcee who could definitely pick up your woman. But I would switch out Rita Wilson for Marissa Tomei.
Ooh, I like that.
And I think those are all relevant right around the same time.
I think at that time she's a little young, but if we're doing it like the 5 years later, like I said, I think it works perfect.
maybe, yeah.
I would also just say though that
I love
you
Marissa
don't
Tomei, though.
normally see like a nerdier guy as like the
Hero?
town. No, the town. I'm talking about Ted.
Oh yes.
He's like the hitting on all the women, but he's like a nerd kind of good. Oh, the cookies.
He's a safety net.
all I'm saying
Can
is
I tell
like,
you guys something? Huge cock. Apparently, he's got a huge dick.
okay.
Where do you pull
Ryan
this info?
is-
Well, why do you think all these women like him? He knows how to fuck.
2 for 2.
Okay, maybe.
We'll
Yeah,
save
damn,
that- save
jeez.
that-
You know, in the neighborhood.
Dude, we have a lot of sound bites from this
save
one.
it for
Jesus.
save it for the
I'm just saying,
Picky Nits and
you
others.
know, in the neighborhood, the women are chatting it up.
I have some questions about that, so we'll save it
So-
for
A lot
the-
of Picky
the-
Nits, yeah.
It's got a huge dick.
Okay. He whispered.
You said the quiet part out loud. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Huge dick. All right. So next is the needle drop song or score. Obviously, the movie's gonna have Christmas songs.
It's literally just all good Christmas
I would
songs.
just mention though that what I would associate with this movie are the Brian Seltzer orchestra songs they have.
Yes.
That every time I hear them, it reminds me of Jingle All The Way. There's like one where he's driving down the highway, and there's another one I think when they're in the toy store, and they have the montage of all the toy stores and people laughing at him, and they play both his renditions of Christmas songs. I would pick those for me personally.
Definitely so. I like that they just kind of did some, not like the main kind of versions, like what the fuck was the one?
I think the caroling. That's the only thing that really stood out for me. The caroling. You know.
I think they did the sleigh ride as a kind of like a swing tune, right?
And they had the one.
Run Run Rudolph was kind of like a more upbeat.
Some of them were like remind me
Yeah.
of Home Alone more than they do this
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
Like that one specifically. There was the one Backdoor Christmas is the one
Okay.
when they walk into the
Yes.
warehouse with the Santas. And it's
Yes.
Christmas and Hollis sampled that, so that kind of reminds me.
Okay,
Wanna hear
very important question here.
Sure.
I've never heard of this song. I remember it in the movie.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that they were saying Backdoor Santa.
I didn't know either. I just knew that I'm pretty sure that's what they sampled for Christmas and Hollis.
Where is Santa going in the back door? Is this a reference to him delivering Christmas presents?
I think he's delivering a present to the
Or
ladies.
seeing the
God.
back
you know.
door.
Come on, Bobby. Backdoor Santa. It's a little.
Maybe it's a little more convenient. He doesn't have to go through a
sounds-
chimney. I
Bobby-
think it's the lazier
Then
version.
you might as well give him
Bobby,
the front door.
It sounds like a porn and you get a family video, okay? You got any more copies of
All right,
Backdoor
y'all
Santa?
need Jesus. Y'all need Jesus. No, maybe he doesn't want to go through the damn chimney. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to go through the front.
Then why? Then give him the front. Why do you not?
No, just he wants to keep it a secret. He doesn't want to know that he's breaking into your house.
I'm just saying, backdoor Santa.
Or he's going in the ladies' back doors.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
Going to church on Sunday, both of you guys.
I
also would just say I like the Turbo Man theme that they
was good.
composed. I think that was decent.
Yeah, he also
Jesus.
in there was I think it was the Russian soldiers of Tchaikovsky, Russian Waltz, whatever the fuck it is,
Oh, yeah,
of the Nutcracker Suite.
Yes. You're right. That was also featured.
Russian something with Russian soldiers.
Yep.
Whoever fucking knows. It was good shit.
So
Moving it.
Woj already said his cinematic shot, which he liked the crash zoom on Arnold's face.
Yep.
Which I also liked. I like when they throw the balls up and they're all reaching for him, like in the store.
Yeah,
slow motion kind of. Yeah.
I had that.
It's good stuff.
Okay, let's go to a spin-off, prequel, sequel category. And then the crossover one's also next. So if you have only one or both, or it's kind of a mingle if you want it, whatever.
I got you. In terms of sequel or something like that, Arnold and Sinbad, like friends, like or was something.
I also had something similar to that.
Like a sequel to that, maybe.
Just just them like being together,
Dude,
like, hey, we are now friends, and we got to get into some other bullshit.
I had a different. Yeah, I don't know if you would include if it'd be like the same characters or if it's a totally different project. But I also had Sinbad and Arnold like a buddy cop movie. I would like to see. I don't, I think they have good chemistry together with like the yin and yang and they kind of butt heads, but they like each other. Works really well for those type of movies.
I also just put as like I just looked it up. I was like, oh, has Arnold ever been a Santa in a movie? Hasn't been. Apparently, up in this year or next year, they're releasing a movie with him as Santa. So I was like, oh, I can see what's up with that.
I also had put down. I wouldn't mind like Phil Hartman's character. He had it's like a whole spinoff of him, a movie of him banging the women, and like a comedy with that.
Well, that's called a porno.
Well, no, not like.
I know, dude. This kid.
No, but it's like a
your mind's smut.
No.
Your words banging all the neighbors.
Yeah, but you don't have to see him banging him. It's just like we like.
It's implied.
But like he gets into some shenanigans with it. It's like where he's
shenanigans.
Okay, I guess mine would be.
Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant you like with all?
You mean shenanigans?
Goofy shit, all the mozzarella stuff.
Yeah. Mine would be. I'd like to see almost a prequel because Phil Hartman was divorced and he has a son. I'm curious. Was he a huge asshole in his first relationship that caused this? Because he yells at the boys, so there's a little bit of fire behind it. So I don't know, it'd be fun.
Absolutely.
It's Phil Hartman though. I love him.
Absolutely. Do you guys have anything for the crossover switcheroo?
I don't have anything of like interchanging anything. I just looked kind of at that period though of like Christmas movies where I almost feel like Arnold really couldn't switch, I think, into those, but I could see a lot of the people who played Santa or like Michael Keaton had that Jack Frost movie. I could see Michael Keaton as Howard Langston. So like I think a lot of people could play that role.
I had something similar where I thought it'd be interesting. No, I like the movies as they are. I would never change them. But like if there was something where like I would like if I see like Chevy Chase in this like as Clark Griswold, but like he's looking for toys and running around like because he's kind of like funny and kind of gets pissed off and things. But it'd be like a different type of movie. But it could be like like funny, like the same idea like but with him instead of Arnold's character. I think it'd be funny.
I had a one-off. This would be a crossover, but before they became the Wet Bandits, I had Marv being a low level like cat burglar in Minnesota, and he has to start to head south, and he connects with a crooked cop in Chicago because eventually he brings on too much heat to himself.
It's funny you mentioned that because
he's such a funny comedian too.
Originally, from what I read online, instead of Sinbad, they originally had Joe Pesci for the foe for Arnold, but they were like he's too short. They wanted someone bigger, so like because they're kind of like
it would have looked like fucking Twins 2.0.
I don't think it would have been as funny. Like Sinbad brings his like unique funniness to us, and Joe Pesci's like a different vibe.
Well, no, you needed a slovenly kind of guy that's like, hey, Arnold is clearly gonna like get him at every turn.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just go to picking Nits then.
Sure.
I had 3. You want me to go?
Let's hear it. No, let's hear it.
Just start it off.
So I already mentioned this one. Howard probably not be able to fool the police with a toy badge at the warehouse. I doubt it. I mean, it's I guess maybe, but I'm sure the cop would like let me see that closer. Like
All I would say is that the way to get out of that for sure is to be like, I am an undercover agent.
Right. It
You're
was a
coming
good
at
plan
me.
though.
Just going at it is solid.
Sometimes
rather than,
execution is half the battle if they believe it enough. You know?
Yeah.
Two more. Even though Jamie gave away his Turbo Man to Myron, Howard still has a certificate for the Turbo Man from the radio station. So
Yeah.
You're right. He did have.
he can get a Turbo Man. He's gonna have one. He would have had two. Now he has one on order. So like him giving away was nice and I'm just saying, but he still is gonna get a Turbo Man. And then
I mean, I'm sure he was gonna get a Turbo Man anyway.
this is the biggest one, obviously. How did Jamie and Liz not recognize Howard's voice when he's Turbo Man? He has an incredibly unique voice that nobody else has in the entire world. He's just an Austrian guy.
I mean, even through the voice modulator or whatever they said, it sounds fucking
especially
insane.
though at the end when they're talking, he's like, "You're his number one person. He loves you." Like, what do we just have a German Turbo Man here? Like, come on, you know it's your dad.
Oh.
Like the way he looks through the shape of his body, like
well, you can see the bottom half of his fucking face.
But the voice alone is a dead giveaway. So it's just like, but again, you just go with it.
All right. All right. So I got a couple here. You hit on definitely a few. I got a question of like, how long would Arnold be in the doghouse with his wife? Just because you literally you go out.
He missed his karate.
Okay, missed a bunch of karates leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Missed
you
the
forget
parade.
you forget the doll. Okay,
Yeah,
you
doll.
go out all Christmas Eve day, and then you're like he does the shit at Ted's house. She catches him, does all this shit. Now he's Turbo Man, right? And he saves the day. Blah 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 blah. I don't think a wife is just going like, yeah, everything's cool, right?
Well, I think
I would love our female audience to chime in.
I think
on
the
that
fact
one.
I would argue I mean I kind of agree with you, but I would say I guess to be on the other side of it would be like the fact that he literally dressed up as Turbo Man, surprised them at the parade. Like maybe he was doing that like to just like she thinks to surprise them.
Oh, okay,
Like,
I get
like
you.
oh, he was really giving it to us bad, but it was all to set us up for this kind of thing.
Right.
And
Does
he
the
went-
one thing overwhelm?
He literally became Turbo Man.
well, the deception as well because he lied about lied about.
Now the
got
real
it.
question is more though when it's in the end because she's like, I can't wait to see what you got me. You went all this trouble for him, and he forgot to get her a gift.
Right.
So
double whammy.
She's gonna be pissed off at that. If anything, that's what she's gonna be pissed off.
I'm
at.
just saying. I don't think Arnold can
Again,
bench press his way out of
Arnold,
that
huge penis.
one. Well,
Is why he has his wife would let it go because she's got a huge.
All right, dude. There are some underlying themes that maybe we gotta talk this out like with a professional therapist.
you know, Ryan, we in every episode, I've only clipped stuff I think twice, and the most.
I feel like
this is easily the most amount of.
You
time.
don't think she's gonna put up with more shit if he's rocking a huge dong?
I mean, look,
come on.
Arnold is a specimen, though. I mean, he won like Mr. World or
Mr.
whatever,
Universe,
Mr.
yeah.
Universe,
Right, he's
whatever.
in good shape.
I mean, he's a big piece of candy.
He's
for
bringing
some
the
ladies.
hammer down. Let's just
Okay.
say, all right. I mean,
All right,
The Austrian hammer.
Okay, this is almost like super bad. Like he can't go to like grab his mic and not talk about schlong. So
Okay, all right.
Jesus Christ.
I will definitely agree with Myron. It's an action figure, not a doll. It's an action figure. What are we
it's kind
talking
of like
about?
it's the size of a doll though. It's a big.
It's big, but it's still an action figure
Agreed,
with
it's
like
an action
things.
It's like the material is action figure material, but the size of it's a doll. It's kind of like a hybrid.
All right, let me do my piggy notes real quick.
go
'cause I'll
ahead.
be quick. The fact that Myron, he becomes. Where does he get a costume and become the bad guy? And timing is
He
just
tied up the guy.
Yeah, there's a-
No,
Quick-
I see the tie up, but it's like
Quick cutaway.
You had no knowledge that he was going to be Turbo. Like I guess I didn't understand the flow of that.
Probably what they I just fucking yelled at that.
And then-
Probably what they left out though, I just would assume with most movies that we've done is like I'm sure they left out the scene of Myron like now stalking Arnold.
Or like he
Right.
saw them from a distance.
Right.
or
Okay, but
something.
maybe like that was missed, and then the other one was his car getting basically completely, all the wheels off, like graffiti, like doors off.
Oh,
That
yeah,
doesn't happen right there in the middle of downtown
during the day.
during the day. Yeah, what the hell is that? Like, it's not a huge crime-ridden
I
city.
mean, he was going all over, literally all over.
I know,
the
but
city.
I didn't believe that. It's like, all right, you come back to your car, it's been like an hour or 2 hours, and everything's gone.
How about Arnold also too, not stopping for gas along the way? You're gonna run out. What are you doing? You got a fucking Blazer. I think it's a gas guzzler.
You're driving all over the place.
Yeah.
But mainly, my other thing that ties in with the car is like, dude, you just like, how are you not freaking the fuck out? Even if you're a millionaire, okay, let's say you're causing thousands of dollars of damage to your car. Then also in the store, he's like ripping up the fucking things. He's the Myron in him walking through. He just crushes like 10 fucking dolls or whatever, and then he just walks out and he's like, I'm gone.
And one thing he backs up into the police vehicle or the motorcycle, and he still shows up at Mall of America, and they're just getting started on opening up the store. And I was like, dude, you think that interaction would slow it down? Like he would be behind the 8 ball, but
I believe. I mean, if they're holding them to a certain time,
right? Maybe that was it, but
like,
that was the only
kind
one.
of like in the beginning where he's like, "Come on, for 3 minutes, you want to open for 2 minutes, you want to open the store."
Yeah, fair. You know what? Maybe fair, but that one I was just like, eh.
This happens a lot of times in movies. You're not just wiping off mace or whatever
No,
the fuck
if you get
had.
maced, you're
Just like,
no,
we're
you're-
good.
You're not gonna be able to see
A
for
minor
like 20 minutes.
minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Probably also be in jail for grabbing that girl's mouth in the ball pit.
Yeah, I'm not a pervert.
That's not going to be a good look.
No,
for
yeah,
him.
he'd definitely be in jail.
Somewhat on the line of what you're saying, and I was like, how many moms are banging? Is Ted
Phil
banging
Hartman's character.
in the neighborhood? Because you got like 3 coming up
I'm telling you,
within.
dude. He
lot.
brought the heat to one. They all chatted each other up. The word's spreading.
Yeah. See, the logic is there, but
Also,
when you brought it up was
he
wild.
fixes their shit. It's like they're
He's
getting
the milkman. He's the modern milkman.
They're getting a bang and house things
Right?
fixed. They're getting 2 things.
You like that analogy? It's the truth. He's the modern milkman.
That's what they call him, the milkman.
Yeah.
Ted the milkman.
He's loving this.
Somehow he turned Jingle All The Way into a porno. That's fucking great. Last just couple things here. Fuck Johnny, the little kid, for going, your parents should get a divorce.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Dude,
Dude, that kid's
wonder-
a little prick.
Did
Yeah.
wonders
Maybe your
for
church
mine.
get divorced too. It did wonders for my
Yeah,
dad.
go fuck a goat.
No, that kid, I guess, great casting because he was a little prick the whole time.
The last picky nit before I just have one other just quick mention here is Arnold is dead. Like the flying around in the suit, he goes through a window, through a family
God. Oh, that was fun
residence.
He runs
animation.
into a fucking wall and like just sticks there.
Yeah, your spinal cord will be powder. It would just
Yeah.
go.
Well, also we could just say too, it's probably unlikely he's gonna know how to operate this fucking
Right.
Flight
jetpack
suit,
thing.
yeah.
Like, I mean,
The last guy before, he's like, yeah, the last guy, he's
started-
like, Dean started to show brain activity. That's a really good sign.
You got the glasses too.
Yeah, I
That's
got
good. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. But it's a '90s movie, so you kind of just go with it.
No,
You
this is
know.
not things that take me
Yeah,
out,
no,
but it's just when
it's,
you
it's fair to say though.
when you look at picking it, you go like, oh shit, yeah, you can't do that.
Definitely.
Last
Also-
thing, go.
I was just gonna say, back to Arnold. How does no one in the entire movie, like, well, how come Sinbad has never seen, like, man, you talk funny. Where the hell you from? Like, you sound, what the hell? Like,
Right, they just
like,
they glaze right over.
Oh, he
it.
just sounds like a normal guy. Like, how you doing, Howard Langston? Like,
Yeah, no guy in Minnesota ever sounded
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, I don't think his name was Howard Langston. It probably would be a little bit more European,
I don't know. It's just like
Howlitzer.
like his kid doesn't have an accent. Okay, I guess because his mom's American and he grew up in school with other American kids. Okay, but like nobody who like I said, Sinbad's never met him before. Like he doesn't know anything. Wouldn't he be a little bit like, man, what the hell you from, man? What are you, a Nazi or something? Are you a German or something?
I think that's probably more in the R-rated version to use a Nazi.
Probably.
honestly.
Herman.
Probably he wouldn't say Nazi, but
That was from the Chappelle Show.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could have said Herman Langston. I would have
Yeah.
believed that a little bit more. The last thing is just as an others. Bobby and I were talking about it. because they do a lot of stuff in Minnesota, it would have been dope for Prince to like make a cameo,
Just a walk by or something.
or like
that.
just like a quick interaction
Like
thing.
how Ted releases the reindeer to Lake Minnetonka and Prince is there like feeding other reindeers.
Or even just
or
like
something.
Prince is at the Mall of America,
Or
like
he's
walking
ordering like
through.
a coffee at the like diner or something like that. That'd be
That would have
great.
been cool, yeah. Maybe
Just
Prince is in line also trying to get a toy for some reason.
Yeah, that'd be
Even
fun.
he can't get one.
He's Prince.
I got
Man, if Prince can't get one, how the hell are we supposed to get
That would
one?
be
yeah, I don't know.
See, we're
Loved you in Purple Rain or something like that.
Purple Rain's the shit.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
I have nothing else.
I'm good.
Now the
Ratings?
last own stream skip and
Rate it up.
grade. I'm gonna start with Bobby.
It's
It's a 3.5.
No.
Worse than Halloween Town, worse than Whiplash,
No,
like-
you know what? Having talked this over, I'm becoming a little bit softer on my. I still think that this is, if it's on TV, catch it. If not, skip. That's just
That's
my.
fair.
But I would actually give this thing a 7 flat.
All right.
A 7 flat because there are a lot of fun comedic. I was gonna go in the 6s, but I was like, no, there's too many comedic opportunities.
Sinbad brings the movie up.
And then
Phil Hartman.
like that warehouse with the Santas and the come on, that's fun. Like so, I was like, there's too many fun points in this movie for me to dog it too
it's
hard.
a dumb movie, but it's entertaining.
It's super dumb. I hated
But it's
the
entertaining
intro.
as
I
hell.
don't think Arnold belongs in any humorous movies, but that's just my own take. But
I mean, it's a Christmas movie with a resolution. Like
Sure.
that's really what it comes down to. It's
And
like you
fuck
want to
Turbo, man. Who the fuck-
feel good at the
well,
end.
and we didn't mention it really, but at this time, 96, like the 90s Christmas movies were having like a resurgence where there's like,
yes, it was.
you got the Santa Claus, you got this, you got the Home Alones,
Home
obviously.
Alone's
Home Alone
huge,
was
yeah.
great.
Miracle on 34th Street remake. There's tons of like
Yeah.
multiple movies coming out, so it
a
made sense.
boom.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I will go. I do own this. It is an own for me, but I do understand that with Christmas movies, I think, Bobby, what I kind of learned from your kind of picks that you put of like what you grew up with and shit is that it just kind of like those generations are like just a little bit like more in the 80s, 70s, 60s because you were like Miracle on 34th Street. I just think that like this is again kind of more in that period that Ryan said of like the early 90s, were kids kind of at the similar age. You might have been a little bit kind of behind. You're like, all right, I want a little bit more edge. I want, Scrooged or something, which I know you didn't say, but
I love Muppets Christmas Carol. I'll just say
I like
that.
it too.
Yeah.
But the Own It, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think it's definitely up there, super quotable as well, which I love. But it's a one that I have in the rotation, year round. So like with the
Absolutely.
Christmas.
I'm gonna go with own. I do own it. Now I would agree with what Woj said. I'll it's not for everybody. This movie, I feel like definitely since we grew up with it, it's more. I have nostalgia for it, so it definitely adds to my liking of the movie and my rewatching of the movie. It's like I'm not gonna say like the quality is as good as like a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but I do watch it just as much because it's a Christmas movie. I do watch it like every year, so. I think it's entertaining.
Should
I like
go
it.
to you crank it out.
Yeah, crank it out all the time.
God, we have a lot of sound bites from this. I hope we put it on our Instagram. Oh goodness.
I'm going to go same grade as Woj, 8.5 again. So I think it's a great movie. I think you should check it out if you like 90s comedy type things. You enjoy
The
Arnold.
nostalgia's nice.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for
And
it.
I got the next pick for next
All right,
week.
yeah, Bobby, what we got next?
We did a little putting challenge to kind of pick this out. I had a few different ones that came to mind, but we landed on Nightmare Before Christmas. This is going to be a first for us because we really haven't done any animated at all. But I love this movie. I love Tim Burton, so Nightmare Before Christmas.
All right, we'll check it out. That's the review for next week. Boys, any final thoughts? Because realistically, next week I'm going to be a little bit sadder because I know I can't keep winning in all 4 leagues. Like I'm definitely going to be having.
Well, your team with 3 penis wine is probably going to lose
okay.
unless you get lucky again.
I'm
you win
having
like
a monologue.
95 to 85.
Dude,
or
luck
something.
is half the playoffs, man. It
I'm
really
having
is.
a monologue over here, so you will listen to every goddamn word I have to say. But yeah, I mean, playoffs are in a full swing. We'll fucking be back at it. We're also trying to get some tabletop games and shit like that going as well. So we'll get some, some video of that and hopefully just be back at it next week. Any final thoughts, boys?
Yeah, can't complain. It was funny.
Arnold is funny in movies.
Okay, well, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Jesus.
You
Harris.
need a girlfriend, too. My God, the amount of...
Harris, you trying to start
Yeah,
a holy war?
We need a distraction for Ryan. So, ladies,
All right.
reach out.
Okay. The Journeyman Lounge podcast.
I'm just connecting the dots, okay?
Okay. Journeyman Lounge podcast out.
Take care.
Jesus.
Bye.